Hi, I'm Junjay. For this presentation, I'm going to cover data mining project for week 1 assignment, which is scraping the data. For this domain, we are going to work into the impact of haze to Malaysia. The objective of project is to study the impact of haze to Malaysia tourism through the tourism arrival data, to study the awareness of hype in haze in social media through Twitter data, and third, to monitor and forecast future impact of haze through the real-time haze data. As for the datasets, we are going to use the historical AQI data which are collected by the Malaysia Department of Environmental and made available through data.gov.my. Second, the real-time AQI data which are also collected by the Malaysia Department of Environmental (DOE) and available through aqicn.org, which is a website that collects all the pollution data for all cities around the world. And third, we are going to look at the historical tourism arrival data that has been collected by Malaysia Tourism Ministry. This data is available through mytourismdata.tourism.gov.my. The technology stacks that we are going to use in this project is, for programming language, we are going to use Python, and for the library, we are going to use a mix of Selenium and Beautiful Soup. First, let's look at how we can scrap tourism and AQI historical data. So this data is available in CSV and Excel format, and this is available in the website. So to get this information, it requires control of mouse click over the browser. Thus, the Selenium is the best fit for this work as it allows automating sending of the mouse clicks over the browser. Let's look at the data. This is the website of the Tourism Malaysia. And for the tourist arrival, how we can get the data is by clicking on the export and click on this export to CSV. And similarly, for the air quality index, the way how we can get the data is by going into the link, click on the CSV, and click on Jelajah and Muat Turun. This will download the files as a CSV or Excel, whichever which are available. Now, let's look at how we can set up Selenium. So first, we need to install the Selenium Python package. And once that is installed, we need to install the Selenium driver for the browser that we are using. So in my laptop, I'm using a Chrome browser. So for this, I need to install the Selenium driver for Chrome. And one thing to point out is the driver version must match the Chrome version that I'm using. Alright, so the Chrome driver can be downloaded from this website, chromedriver.chromium.org, and as I highlighted just now, the version must match. So how to know the version of Chrome? You can get it by clicking on Settings, Help, About Chrome. As we can see here, my Chrome version is version 76, which is why for me to use this, I need to use this Chrome driver 76. Now let's understand a bit about Selenium. So more information of Selenium is available in its website, which is seleniumhq.org. Selenium is a web browser automation tool. So this can be used for automating a web browser administrative tools or used for testing. As the Selenium can be used to send out clicks and collect some data from the browser, it can also be used to perform basic web scraping functions. And in order to use Selenium effectively, some knowledge of XPath is required. And Selenium library is also available for a wide range of programming language, including Python, Java, C#, and Ruby. I mentioned about XText, XPath. So what is XPath? So XPath is an XML path language to be able for user to select a node out of the XML documents, as the HTML is an extension of XML. So the XPath can also be used to locate the HTML elements. So how do we know what is the HTML elements? How do we know what is the XPath values? Now let's look back in our data. So for tourism arrival data, we know that we need to click on export and click on export to CSV. And each of these export and export CSV, it has some XPath values to it. How do we get the values? We can get it by click on setting, more tools, developer tools. So once we are here, make sure you're on element. You can right click on this button, click on inspect. Then the elements will be selected. From this element, right click this element, copy, and copy the XPath. So this is how you get the XPath for this element. So let's inspect this. So this XPath for this button is this value. Okay, so by passing this value to it, the Selenium will be able to find this button and send the mouse click to it. And next, once we select on this, we need to select on export to CSV. And how we can get it is by going to inspect, right click again, go to copy XPath. So this will be the XPath for the second button that we need to click for the download to happen. Now let's look at the code. Okay, let's look at the main function. This function has two parts. One is to download the file, and the second one is to archive this file. Okay, and download of this file is pretty simple. What we need to do is to give the option and then start a driver instance. And for this driver instance, we need to provide where is the Chrome driver that we have downloaded. And once we have this driver instance, we need to give it the link. This is the URL of the page that I opened just now. So the driver will open this page. We need to tell it to sleep for a while. And then these are the two paths that I showed just now that we have took from the page. Okay, first is to click on export, and second is to click on export to CSV. So what we want to tell Selenium to do is find this element by XPath. Give it this path, so it will find the element, and then it will send the click command to it. And then after it sends this click, we want to find the second element based on this path and send the click to it. So once this two click is being sent, then it will trigger the download of the tourism data. And once the data has been downloaded, what I want to do is I don't want to keep this data in my downloads folder. I want to move it into my data folder. So this is to find the files from my download folder and then move it into the /4 data folder that I have. Now let's see this in action. Click run. So what you do is you open up my Chrome browser, go to the page that I want, and then you will send the mouse click to the buttons that I instruct it to do, which is to export and export CSV. So once you send the mouse click, then you will start the download. And once the download is completed, I'll move it into my data folder. Okay, done. Now let's look at my data folder. So as you can see here, there's a new file that's been created. This is for the new latest tourism arrival data. Let's take a peek at this data. So this data, it contains the tourism arrival statistic for the year 2000 until 2019. And for the months, the last data available is for the month of June. Okay, now using the same concept, we can scrap data for the historical data as well. AQI historical data. What we need to do is back to the web page. The AQI historical data is being stored in different page. Each of these page contains some range of years. For example, 2005 to 13, 13 to 14, 14, 15, and 16. So what we need to do is to open up this page, find the button that I want, which is Jelajah, and click on the Map to Room. So let's look at the code. So I'll go into the one. This is one of the year range that I want, which is this year range. And then once I open up this page for this year range, I want you to click on these two buttons. Then you will find this button, Jelajah, and the second button for Mod to Room. Okay, so once these two click has been sent, they will download the files, and the files should be downloaded into the my download folders, and I want to archive it. So I want to archive these files from my download folders into my data folder. One challenge that I have for this is because the file is quite huge, sometimes it takes time for the file to be downloaded. So when I try to move the files too early, then the file cannot be found. So what I need to do here is I add some control here. If the file cannot be found when I try to archive, I will try to retry again. And then if the maximum retry has been reached, in this case 3, then I'll give up and move on to the next year range. And we go on for all the other ranges. Now that we understand how to get the AQI historical data, let's look at how we can get the real-time AQI data. Let's understand how the data is available. So this is the website that contains all the cities link, and from here we can find the Malaysia section, and you can find the links to the AQI data for all the major cities in Malaysia. So let's look at one of these. Okay, so once we go into this link for a city in Malaysia, you can see that the AQI data is available in the chart. You can get the value like AQI. Along with it, we can get the temperature, pressure, humidity, wind and rain information as well. Okay, so what we need to do now is to automate this process. So if you think of it, the process is go to this webpage, find out all the links that we have here which are from Malaysia, open it, and then from here extract the information from these fields and put it into a file. Now how do we do this? Okay, so we know that Beautiful Soup is very easy to be used to extract HTML elements from a website. So we can use this easily to extract all the links to all the cities. And then what we're going to do is iterate through this list and open the page for all the cities and get the data for fields that we want. Okay, a bit of Beautiful Soup. So Beautiful Soup is a Python library for pulling out the HTML files, and it provides a very idiomatic ways to navigate and search and modify the parser trees. Okay, let's look at the code. This is the main function. Alright, so what I need to do is I give it the list of countries which I'm interested with. Now let's start with Malaysia. And then what you do is for all the countries, you will try to get all the cities linked. And how you do that is to go to this website, aqicn/city/all, and then create a Beautiful Soup, and then I will find all the href, which is a link. And what I want to see is a link which has a point to a cities in Malaysia. How do we know that? So based on the data, we know that all the links to Malaysia, the format of the link goes by aqicn.org/city/Malaysia and then other fields. So if I look for this pattern in Malaysia in the URL, I know that this is a link to the city in Malaysia. So that's how we get all the cities linked. Once we got all the cities linked, what I did was I put this into a city object which contain the name and the URL, and also create the object for air quality for the city, time, AQI, temperature, pressure and wind, and also a class for country as well. Okay, so now we have get the list of cities. What do we do next? So all the cities are gathered into a list, and then for each of these city, what I want to do is I want to get the air quality of it. Okay, so to get the air quality for city, I have gathered the URL for the cities, And what I can do next is open the page, okay, and then start beautiful soup for this page to scrap the content, and then find the ID for the field that I want. So the ID is unique across the whole page. So by looking at this ID, I will be able to get what is the time, what's the AQI, temperature, time, AQI, temperature, and so on for all the fields. So once I have all these fields available, then I return them as a air quality object. And once I have this data available, I write them into a file. Okay, and for this write, I write them into a JSON format. Let's control through this part of the code. Alright, so let's try to see this in action. Let's run this. Okay, so yes, open up this page, and then I find that there are 69 cities in Malaysia, and just load all this thing. Now you go through each of the city and try to get the air quality data. This is going to take some time. I'm going to pause this for a while. Alright, so now all the scrapping has been done. Let's look at the data. So this is the new data that we've just scrapped. Oops. Alright, so this is for each of the city that we have, the time, AQI, temperature, pressure, humidity, and so on. So some of the data is not available, like for example this one. Okay, so this is all the information that we have. There will be some further data cleaning required to make this into a usable state. That's all for my presentation. Thank you.